A mutated strain of rabies called mad dog disease spreads rapidly across the world, jumping from animals to humans. Anyone bitten turns violent within 90 seconds, and soon most of humanity is dead or infected. Those who change become highly resistant to pain and extremely aggressive, leaving the world overrun by roaming violent groups of the infected.
They killed everyone. Women, children.
A man called Morgan wakes up from a nightmare in an underground nuclear facility where the military gathers the last healthy survivors. Soldiers work with CDC scientists to search for a cure, believing they must find the first infected person because that person's blood may hold the answer. Several infected individuals are kept in secure cages and questioned regularly to track the outbreak's origin.
How are our prisoners?
Our patients are ready for observation.
4th Battalion were 125 miles north when I came across a pack of infected. We were able to bring 2 in alive.
Morgan, a civilian who survived a bite without turning, assists the research team. His blood resists the virus, and the bite gave him the ability to understand and communicate with zombies.
All right, set.
Nice. A fellow countryman and a great performer.
During an interrogation, soldiers restrain a raging infected man in a glass room and play loud music that causes him pain. When Gina signals to stop, Morgan turns off the sound and speaks to the man in zombie language while sending notes to Gina. He names the subject Joe and learns Joe came from Minnesota and was infected early.
I'm gonna call you Joe. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Morgan tries to get more information by admitting he struggles with impulses and by describing how much he hates the broken world. Colonel Knox interrupts through the microphone, which sends Joe into another violent fit. Morgan steps out to let him calm down, but Knox demands he continue. Joe grows more unstable, and Knox, frustrated, shoots him.
I want to help you.
What's he doing?
Colonel?
Hey!
Morgan and Gina get furious since Joe could have provided valuable clues. Morgan yells at Knox. Morgan gets angry and hits the wall as he fights the aggression left in him. Gina warns Knox that she will remove him from her lab if he abuses his authority again.
And I promise you'll rue the day that we ever met if you don't already. Are we clear, Colonel?
Morgan hides in the bathroom to calm himself. Gina finds him and offers comfort. He refuses medication and explains he has nightmares about Janet, his bitten wife. They admit they miss their old lives and end up becoming intimate.
Goodbye.
That's cute.
Yeah.
When Gina steps out, Knox mocks her for being with someone who has been bitten. Gina accuses him of jealousy and tells him he never had a chance with her.
I wouldn't have chosen you if you were the last male on Earth.
Morgan then goes to a secluded cell holding Janet, who was bitten the same day he was. He gives her a serum made from his own blood. It cannot cure her, but it slows the infection and keeps her conscious. Janet knocks his hand away, but Morgan begs her to cooperate, saying she needs to keep taking the injection to see if it's working. Later, soldiers bring in a zombie and Morgan names him Pete. When they try tying him down, he fights so hard that he breaks free and attacks. During the struggle, Dr. Scooter rushes in to help and is bitten. The team hurries him to the medical room, and he begs them not to let him turn. They inject him with the serum, and Gina cuts off his arm just before the 90 seconds are up. He seems stable at first, but then collapses and begins to change. They fail to restrain him, and Knox shoots him, claiming it is what Scooter would have wanted. Morgan and Gina hate it, but they realize Knox is probably right.
Come on. Please, come on.
While the soldiers clean the cell, Knox gets drunk in the bathroom. Gina breaks down, and Morgan comforts her. They visit a small memorial for Scooter's son and leave a cupcake for his birthday.
Tell your daddy we love him. And we miss him already.
The next day, they interrogate Pete again. Furious about Scooter, Morgan uses the music to torment Pete longer than usual, turning it on and off. Pete finally says he is from Minnesota and was infected in October but refuses to say more. Furious, Morgan points his gun at him, and Pete tells him to do it. Morgan walks out.
Where is patient 0? Where is he? Where is he?
Dude.
Later, Gina and Morgan meet General Pierce and explain that both Joe and Pete were early infections from Minnesota. Gina wants to expand the search there because patient 0 is likely in that region. Knox argues it will only cost more soldiers, but Gina insists the infected have become smarter and more strategic. Morgan supports her point. Pierce approves the mission.
Thousands of people died in that base, which is not something you should be proud of being right about. Pull the trigger.
Morgan then brings Janet another injection. He thinks back to their old life, remembering how he wanted a child while Janet preferred to wait for the right surrogate. They had still been happy together. Janet then tells him she sensed his mixed feelings about her and Gina, but he insists she is still the most important person to him. She becomes upset and demands to be released, saying she would rather be outside than trapped here. Morgan reassures her and tells her not to lose hope.
You have to let me go! Please!
There's still hope.
Plop.
Later, Gina takes another blood sample while complaining that they still do not understand why Morgan is the only immune case. Her rat trials have all failed, and the rats keep attacking each other. Morgan's blood lowers viral levels and slows infection for only a few minutes. Far from a cure, so Janet's progress is not something they can guarantee. Morgan is upset, and Gina chooses that moment to admit she loves him. Morgan walks out without answering.
Oh, don't tell me what it's time for me to do, okay? That is not your place. Just back the f up.
Later, Gina learns she is pregnant with Morgan's child. She breaks down because she knows he does not return her feelings. That night, Morgan dreams again about the day he and Janet were bitten. Two infected climbed onto their car at a stoplight and smashed the windows. He drove forward until they fell, but when he stopped again, more infected swarmed the car and bit them both. Morgan wakes up screaming. Not long after, Knox and his team bring back the bodies of soldiers who died during the Minnesota mission. After paying their respects, they begin moving the bodies, but one of the dead suddenly rises and attacks. He is actually a civilian zombie disguised as a soldier who managed to infiltrate the base. As the intruder begins killing medics and soldiers, Knox moves through the room to grab a weapon and waits for a clear shot. The alarm sounds across the facility, and reinforcements arrive while Knox searches for the hidden attacker. A newly turned soldier jumps at him, and Knox shoots him immediately. The disguised infected then charges from hiding and nearly bites Knox, but Morgan arrives in time to pull the creature away. The soldiers aim to kill it, but Morgan stops them, saying they need the infected alive for questioning.
Wait. Take it easy. Don't kill him.
Knox points his weapon at the creature, but the infected surprises everyone by surrendering and asking to speak to Morgan. They move him to the glass cell and start the music, but it has no effect. He calmly sits, lights a cigarette, and looks almost human except for his mismatched eyes. The soldiers found a university ID on him, so Morgan calls him the professor.
Professor Michael Janssen.
What kind of professor?
Doesn't say.
During interrogation, the professor stays composed and replies with vague philosophical comments. He says he has been searching for Morgan, who is well known among the infected. When Morgan asks why the music does not affect him, the professor explains that infection affects everyone differently, just like humans vary from person to person. He points out that Morgan's ability to communicate with zombies is simply his personal mutation, which Morgan strongly rejects.
The virus altered you enough so that you could communicate with us, and yet...
I believe it to be so. I mean, at least that is my understanding of your nature.
Well, that is your understanding of my nature.
The professor claims the infected are a more evolved species and argues that humans destroy whenever they want as well. He then describes how he was infected. He had been giving a lecture at the university and stepped out to answer calls from his wife. While she warned him about the chaos in the city, he heard noise in his classroom and saw an infected rushing in and attacking everyone. He ran, but they flooded the halls and his own student bit him. His body transformed, but his mind stayed clear long enough for him to reach home. When he saw his wife and daughter, the virus overpowered him and forced him to kill them.
She begged me to stop and cried out my name.
Daddy?
Morgan is sickened by the story and criticizes him for losing control, but the professor repeats that the infected have surpassed human limits. He dismisses the idea of a single patient zero and avoids every question, shifting into complaints about the government. Morgan finally snaps and punches him before leaving the cell.
What nuts he saying to you?
Sorry.
After calming down, Morgan returns and pretends to be friendly, even taking a cigarette. The professor mocks him by mentioning Janet and claiming she does not need a cure because the infected are the solution to humanity's flaws. As the professor keeps stalling, Morgan realizes he is wasting time on purpose. Suspicious, he scans the professor, but finds nothing, so he rushes to examine Pete. Morgan confronts Pete and explains his theory that Pete allowed himself to be captured. When Pete realizes Morgan might harm him to force answers, he tries to end his own life and collapses. Morgan scans him again, gets a signal, and cuts open an old scar, revealing a hidden tracker. The theory is confirmed. Pete let himself be captured so the infected could locate the base. The infected are evolving, and a coordinated attack is coming.
Knife! Knife! I need a knife! There you go.
Morgan reports the discovery to Pierce, who orders a full lockdown. The infected break in before the entrances are secured, and panic spreads as refugees are attacked across the base. One intruder reaches the cell block and frees all the imprisoned infected, rapidly increasing their numbers. Soldiers try to defend the area, but are overwhelmed as the attackers push through the corridors and labs, killing everyone they encounter.
We've been breached.
Knox runs after Gina and leads her toward a hidden escape path. Pierce tries to follow them, but with the infected closing in, Knox shoots him, allowing the creatures to swarm him while he escapes with Gina to the elevator. Gina is horrified by what he has done and argues with him, but Knox insists it was necessary. She takes his gun and stops the elevator because she wants to retrieve her samples. Knox tries to stop her, the gun goes off during the struggle, and he is killed. Morgan runs to the cells to free Janet and escape with her. Elsewhere, the killing continues. In the rat lab, an infected discovers a hiding scientist and knocks over cages, allowing the infected rats to escape. Back on the way, Morgan grabs a fire axe. They run into Gina, who warns that freeing Janet is dangerous because the injections only stabilize her temporarily. Morgan refuses to leave her. A zombie approaches from behind and Gina shoots it, then insists on retrieving her samples. Morgan and Janet follow her to the lab storage. While Gina collects what she needs, another infected charges in, and Morgan kills it with the axe.
I think I know another way we can get up.
At the same time, the professor releases a powerful roar that alerts other infected who begin moving through the base. The trio climbs into the ventilation system, carefully avoiding loose wiring. As they crawl, Gina looks through a grate and sees the refugee area completely destroyed. Their weight makes the grate collapse, revealing them to the infected below.
They've seen us! They're coming! Hurry!
They move forward quickly and encounter a zombie rat that leaps at them, but Janet grabs it and kills it. Soon they hear infected entering the vents behind them. Morgan kicks one attacker until the vent breaks under it, sending the creature falling, and Gina pulls him back before he drops two.
Morgan! Morgan! Take my hand! I got you.
They eventually reach the parking area where the professor is waiting. He explains that he came to kill Morgan because Morgan's blood threatens the future of the infected, calling him their version of a patient zero.
They're here for me.
What?
Ironic, isn't it? You're our patient zero.
A fight breaks out. Gina and Janet try to help, but the professor throws them aside. Morgan and the professor fight with whatever objects they can reach. The professor knocks Morgan down, but Morgan forces him onto a protruding pipe, killing him. Morgan is injured as well. Before dying, the professor roars again to summon a massive horde. They run toward the exit, but Janet says she is staying behind to slow the infected. Morgan refuses, so she distracts him by revealing she knows Gina is pregnant, then locks the door.
No, Janet!
I'm sorry. We gotta move.
After grieving for a moment, Morgan leads Gina through an emergency tunnel that brings them into the woods. Infected roam the area. Morgan retrieves his hidden motorcycle nearby and insists they can make it. They ride through the forest as the infected begin chasing them.
We're all gonna make it. Me, you, and that baby, we're gonna be fine.